briefly, what I'd like to ask is, what do you see as the future of aging? Um, I mean, based on the kind of the technology that we see coming, how do we, what, if we're optimistic, what do we see as being the best kind of path forward, and how long will people be able to live?
Well, there's our stuff, right? So ours has to do with the, circulating factors that signal regeneration and tissue maintenance and rejuvenation. There's a lot of metabolic progress, right? So I keep thinking of like the sirtuins and the Leonard Guarente's lab and David Sinclair and the resveratrol, and that harkens back to the old observations about basically dieting, right? Caloric restriction, or various diets, that kind of stuff. So I think that's moving. That seems to have moved a lot from just dieting to understanding more of the molecular side of how that works, and being able to target that. I guess the idea is to have your cake and eat it too, and then make it work better.
But I think the question was like,
I don't know
how long will we live? And
we'll get to that. Yeah, but then right. So then there was the senolytics was pretty recent, and I guess it had kind of a high, and then it had a bit of a crash. I guess there was a clinical trial that didn't work out as well as I thought it would be. But there's still a lot of primary observation that's been done with
senescent cells.
Yeah, senescent cells scientifically, and just some weird mouse models that you can argue is that a good representation of aging, but they do get in their model, they get healthier, right? They look better, so I think there's something that's gonna go back up again, and we're gonna get some benefit out of those studies, and those trials. What else are people looking at?
Basically, I don't know. I think we are at the crossroads.
Yeah.
I think we are at the crossroads where we can either make a breakthrough, or we can go in the wrong direction for some time and not make people younger, but
partial reprogramming,
giving them cancer.
Yeah, not. I don't get that yet. Partial reprogramming. Maybe, we'll see what happens in the next few years, if that looks like it's going to be promising.
Yes.
Or not, right?
So, so to say that we are very close and we have a clear plan or clean path, no, we are at the crossroads. In our opinion, there are really reputable approaches, and they are less rational approaches. Again, we just talk about as scientists, not as clinicians. And depending on where the funding goes. So a lot of things are determined by funding, not just investment in the company, but the funding of fundamental academic aging research to the laboratories. And if there was unlimited funding, there would be less questionable approaches, because everybody would just do more thorough studies with better controls to figure out what's going on, not have a goal to publish paper in Science, because that's how they are able to continue with the work that they love.
That's how they can win, and winner takes all.
And
there'd be a lot more collaborations if the funding was either more of it or just more distribution. Like, so instead of winner takes all, the top winner gets it all, and the next winner gets 90%, the next winner gets 80%, or something like that. So at least the 50% people can still keep afloat. And you'd be surprised what scientists can get done with 50% of their funding.
Right.
If they had to, right?
Right. But right. but I think there is a possibility that we will have new intervention against a broad class of age-associated diseases within the next, let's say, 5 to 10 years. Or there is a possibility that we will not have it, because the best idea and the best approaches will be really without funding. They will be starved of funding, and some other approach that makes waves and highlights are written about it and constantly is published in so-called high impact journal will not lead to medicine, like many times happened before. Because if you look at like highlights, what did people highlight and said, this is so great and we're going to have medicine? And then you look at is there continuation? Is there a medicine or even successful clinical trials, right? Very often there is a disconnect. So that kind of is what we discuss in our internal circles, is that how to make this disconnect to disappear. But on the other hand, there is huge interest to the field of aging. It is at the forefront of science, that's for sure. There are wonderful groups and laboratories working in the field. Right?
Yeah, if you can extend health span and compress morbidity, I mean, I'm not an economist, but I read studies that people say that you save, the society as a whole saves so much money if you can do that. Like every year that you can extend health span is like, trillions of dollars globally, right? Powers that be, I don't know, nobody, policy never seems to be proactive, it always seems to be reactive, but maybe somebody can react and
no, seriously, I mean, with demographic
make
shifts,
this more of a priority, right? Yeah,
exactly. There's obviously
we'll solve a lot
demographic
of the problems,
shifts.
right?
Yeah.
And healthcare becomes unsustainable because we solved many of the diseases, but ironically now the diseases of older age become the problem because people died before they reached that old age. So many of these diseases now came as a surprise to us, and we still have to solve those new diseases and tackle them. But if you do, of course, I think it will be a great breakthrough, not just for individuals, but for society. Because we'll stop losing, really excellent scientists and actors, statespeople,
doctors,
exactly, invaluable individuals. So that's kind of optimistic viewpoint. I hope that
yes. No, excellent, thank you. No, that's good. And at least so TPE, I mean, the thing is that seems really good about TPE is A, it's approved already, and B, it seems a very safe and fairly, it seems a very safe and the path is fairly clear as to how it could be used, unlike some of the other therapies.
Not like do it in your garage safe, but, not biohack safe, but
no, not biohack safe, but talk to Dovre about it. Talk to the Therapeutic Plasma Exchange Society. They will tell you more details about it.
Okay, excellent. Yes, I will definitely try and do that.
And then hopefully, if everything goes well and we launch with a phase 3 clinical trial, it will be FDA registered, and you can read more. NIH registered. Okay, NIH registered, and then we hope to release the results as they come. We are not going to wait all 2 years for people to know what's going on. As soon as there is some really clearly interpretable data with good controls, we will release the results of the clinical trial on an ongoing basis. That's our plan.
Okay, excellent. So thank you so much. And yes, we will definitely be watching out for that. That looks really interesting.
I hope that you found the video informative. Please do hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell button for any new video release notifications. Thank you so much for your kind support. I wish you all well and will speak to you again soon.